the more boring thing you do for next 10 years is the only way to become an interesting person. I want to start with something that I think is actually wrong, like, or at least, uh, let's say, incomplete about how we think about having an interesting life. Because when you ask someone, like, what makes someone to have a life a lot more interesting than others, they usually describe a moment, like a trip, I don't know, a lunch, the night something big happened, and I don't think like that's wrong specifically. Parts like, but I think it's pointing at the kind of like wrong layer of the thing because I've been thinking about this idea lately of what if the actual interestingness of a life isn't made out of moments at all? Like, what if it's made of the stuff nobody would like ever put in a highlight reel, like doing something moderately hard, moderately boring with no one watching for years, for like consistently for years, just showing up to the unglamorous version of a thing like over and over until it becomes something. And I keep coming back to this because I think most people, myself included, honestly, drastically underestimate like how rare that actually is. Not the hard part, like the hard part is it's not the hard, like weirdly. Like doing something difficult once, that's almost easy in a way because it comes with a story attached. You can tell people about it, you can brag about it, like there's a payoff built in just from the doing of it. Like the real obstacle is somewhere else. uh, the real obstacle is what I think is boredom, and like boredom and invisibility. Like doing the thing for like 2,000 time, like when no one's watching, when there's no applause anywhere near it, when the payoff, like if there is one, is so far away, it barely counts as motivation anymore. Like that's completely different psychological problem than can I push through something hard. Most people, again, myself included, like can push through pain if it comes with an audience. Like almost nobody can push through tedium that comes with silence. And I don't fully know, but I have a guess. And it's something like it's not that the person who can do it has more willpower exactly. I don't even really believe in willpower as this fixed resource you either have or don't. I really believe that willpower and motivation helps you to go through doing the thing at the very beginning, starting phase of something when you're starting to build something, the foundation of it. But once you get off of it, that part, like when you're routinized doing that thing over and over again, you don't really need discipline. You just do it, and all you have to do is stay consistent doing it. And I think it's more that like they've stopped treating the boring repetition as a means to an end and started treating it as like the actual site of their identity. Like which sounds abstract in a sense, but what I mean is like the doing, like this thing stops being I am doing X in order to get Y and becomes I am doing who does X. And once it's that, like the absence of feedback like doesn't really threaten it same way because you're not waiting for a reward. You're just being who you already decided you are, like again today, tomorrow, just as usual. But like okay, I want to complicate like this a little because I don't think all repetition is equal, like, and I think that's a place where people might get misinterpret what I'm saying, like myself included, because you could do a boring difficult thing every single day for 10 years and have it mean literally nothing, right? Like rearranging your desk every single day for a decade. Like that's consistent. That's even mildly effortful, let's say, but it doesn't really compound into anything. It just resets. Whereas something like running or writing or an instrument that has this uh, ratchet like built into it, where each rep leaves a residue, like some kind of trace, muscle, skill, a body of work, like a changed nervous system, like whatever it is, like it accumulates instead of this evaporating once it's done. So I think the real question underneath do unglamorous hard things for years is actually doing like is actually like does this specific unglamorous hot thing have a ratchet in it, and is it building something that stays, is it building something real inside me, like because if it's not, like you're not really disciplined, or you aren't really building something, you're just stuck in a loop that feels like discipline or doing something because it's uncomfortable. And discomfort gets mistaken for progress constantly, especially in gym. Like people think that having soreness on their body feel like thing means that it they trained really well that day or the past day. It really is not. Like I can catch myself doing this as well, like assuming that because something is hard, it must be worth consuming or continuing. Like when actually hard and pointless are fully compatible and they coexist all the time. Like here's the part I actually think matters the most, utmost, like which is what this does to you internally over that time scale. Because I don't think the main price of doing something boring and hurtful is the external result. Like obviously you get better at whatever it is. Obviously something gets built. But I think the bigger thing, the thing underneath that this whole thing is that it quietly rewires how you see yourself. Because if you look back at even just a single year, let's say, and there's a thread of consistently running through it, even a small one, like even something nobody else would notice, what you're left with is evidence, proof, like an actual proof, like not a feeling, not a self-affirmation, like actual evidence that when you say you're doing when you say you're to do something, you are doing it. You're going to do it. Like, and I think that changes the texture of your whole life, like how you even see yourself, like self-concept. You're not someone who has had like interesting things happen to them. You're someone do, who actually does things they said they'll do. And under pressure, like under real pressure, I think that second kind of person is just built differently, like not because they are more talented or like because they've tested over and over whether their word to themselves holds, and it did. Like whereas the highlight real version of an interesting life, the trips. I mean, I have no against with these things, but like superstitious, pretentious, just for the views and how they want to be perceived. Like the peak nights, the stuff you put in a montage, like that's real. And I'm not dismissing it again, like, but it doesn't really load bear anything. Like it doesn't really tell you what you'll do when it's hard and no one's watching and there's no story to tell afterward. It's a life that happened to you more than a life you built. And I think that's maybe the actual distinction I'm circling back to. Like an interesting life built on spikes is a life of things that happen. Like an interesting life built on unglamorous consistency is a life of things you did. And like those look similar from from the outside sometimes, but they are made of completely different material on the inside. And I think this means to go find suffering and grind through it blindly, like by the way, like I want to be careful about that because hard and boring is necessary, like, but it's not sufficient. Like plenty of things are just hard and boring and lead absolutely nowhere. So maybe the actual filter isn't is this difficult. Like the filter is something else. more like does this compound, and do I actually respect where it's taking me? Like would I love where with the journey? Would I love the process? Because process is not will be 99% of time that you'll be spending, even more actually. So in order to pursue like pursuing something means that you'll find your absolute you'll have to do your absolute best to make yourself like the journey, the process of it. Like not do I respect the suffering, or like do I respect the trajectory? And I think if you can find a handful of those, like boring, difficult, quietly compounding over years. In my case, I have a sort of an idea, or like I finally found things that I would love to I keep going for the next 5 to 10 years. And I'm so like I'm looking forward to see myself in the next 5 to 10 years, because I'm so like I'm always trying to just envision what I can become as as a person. Like I can just become a really good man if I just keep on following this. I'm not saying I'm not a good man right now, but I can be even a better version of myself. And I think like that's probably like what an interesting life actually is. Like not the moments, the residue, but actions, actual hard earned actions leave. So that's about it in this video. Thank you for listening.